You're watching the TGM production.
One I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier. Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
Hello and welcome back to Here's One I Made Earlier, the Blue Peter YouTube channel where we talk things, all things Blue Peter from the past to the present to the future. Now, we're talking about the future today. In recent news, this news we're going to talk about, whilst I itch my back, comes from the 17th of July, 2025. Now, I am late to this news, but I have got all the information together. I spent from that date sorting out the information, seeing if any updates, and working out what the general consensus is for this news to see if people are happy with it or not. So, without further ado, our first port of call. On the BBC media site, there is, and I'm happy to say, there is a cracking video, which is a clip from the Blue Peter episode of that evening, and it announces who the 44th Blue Peter presenter is. And what we're going to do in just a moment is we're going to play said clip so you can enjoy and find out. So then we can talk about the news and I can show you some other wacky stuff they did to promote it. So, without further ado, here is the announcement for the 44th Blue Peter presenter.
We have a new member of the Blue Peter team arriving to join us guys here.
Yes, it's me, Cocker!
It's Hacker
Was that the right cue? Hooray, I'm here!
It works.
Yes, well done, well done.
Hacker, we're so happy to have you on board.
Thank you for letting me aboard the mighty ship, Blue Pete.
Hacker, tell me, what does it feel like to be presenter number 44?
I am privileged, nay proud, to be involved in this fine institution and top-notch show. That's right, folks, it's me, Hacker the Dog, national treasure, and new Blue Peter presents.
Oh, the drama! Now, Hacker, it is no secret that you're not the only Blue Peter dog on the scene. You've got Henry.
I'm happy because little Emery and I are dear chums, so thanks, Emery, for being lovely to me. Woof, woof, woof. Yeah, am I right?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, in that case, we look forward to having you in September.
And so, there we have it. That is our wonderful, extraordinary and amazing clip. Now, you've probably noticed there was a bar on it that looked like it was me pressing play. Well, that's because I try and cut that out, but you will still see it. Now, that has made me very excited because if you know, I've interviewed Phil Fletcher, who plays Hacker, who's been doing it for 16 odd years. Now, this is what the article says before we get on to some other fun footage that has come out of this announcement, because I can tell you, right, the next bit of footage I'm going to show you is fun because of several factors. But we'll get on to that after. First of all, let's read the article that the BBC Press Centre released on the 17th of July 2025. The title reads, Hacker T Dog joins Blue Peter's presenting team. Well, it really says Hacker T Dog joins the Blue Peter presenting team, right? I think adding an S doesn't really matter, but I think it might work adding an S. He has previously appeared as a guest presenter on Blue Peter, and from September he'll become a regular presence in the studio. Now, before we go any further, whilst I prepare the article, we want to talk about that Hacker has briefly appeared on CBeebies, in the CBeebies house every so often, because Dodge T-Dog, played by Warwick Bindle Pike, moved over to CBeebies to probably help transition them to CBBC when it's their time to move over. And one of the things that really interests me on that is because Hacker and Dodge are brothers, that's how they've done the characters. It means that Hacker could appear on CBeebies every so often. And I think it will help transition them to older programming on the BBC. So having him on Blue Peter means that they'll recognise him and go, oh, that's Hacker from the CBeebies house. Sorry about that cough. So, Audiences already love Hacker's guest appearances of Blue Peter, and now he's officially joining the team this September. As we unveil the show's fresh new look, viewers can expect plenty of mischief from the one and only Hackerty dog, Sarah Muller, BBC Senior Head of Children's Commissioning, +7. Not too sure what the +7 means. Does it mean she's the Senior Head of Children's Commissioning for 7up? Not the brand 7up, but year 7up. I'm not too sure. This autumn, beloved canine comedian. I wouldn't have called him a comedian. He's a presenter. I know he's funny. He's absolutely hilarious, and there's so many funny moments of Hacker. I wouldn't call him a comedian. I would say he's a presenter, right? Who just happens to be quite funny. So I do think comedian is an odd choice, because nowhere else do they describe Hacker as a comedian. Nowhere else is the word comedian ever used. And in the history of Hacker, comedian has never been used. So it just seems an odd choice to now start using the word comedian. But it could have been a spur of the moment choice. It could have been something that wasn't really that planned, if you will. I'm not too sure. So this autumn, beloved canine comedian Hackerty Dog will officially join the legacy children's programme Blue Peter, presenting alongside Abby Cook, Joel Mulvaney, spelled Mawhiney. I do apologise if I mispronounce your name, Joel. I do apologise. And then Sheeny, Muthukrisha. It's Muthukrishan. I just didn't want to get that name wrong either. And the Henry the Blue Peter pet dog. Now, famous for his cheeky humour, light fast wit, and unmistakable Wigan accent, because Phil Fletcher's from Wigan, Hacker has been a CBBC favourite for over 16 years. He previously appeared as a guest presenter on Blue Peter, and from September he'll become a regular. He will become a regular. It's dead exciting, says Hackerty Dog. Thank you for letting me aboard the mighty ship Blue Peter. I'm privileged, nay, proud, to be involved in this fine institution and top-notch show. I was doing it more in a grandiose way because I didn't want to do an impression of Hacker, but I wanted to perform that. That's right, folks. It's me, Hacker the Dog, National Treasure, and new Blue Peter presenter. Sarah Muller, BBC Senior Head of Commissioning, +7 says, audiences already love Hacker's guest appearance on Blue Peter, and now he's officially joining the team this September as we unveil the show's fresh new look. Viewers can expect plenty of mischief from the one and only Hackerty Dog. So Hacker could sing, I am the one and only. Yes, he could. He could. That wasn't a Chesney Hawk impression, before you ask. No. I'll never do a Chesney Hawk impression, because I'll never do impressions. Unless I'm doing an impression of my comedy character, Albert Flowerpot. Puppeteer Phil Fletcher grew up with Blue Peter, and he's thrilled to be joining the team. Hacker has become a fan favourite on Blue Peter, taking part in festive specials, Red Nose Day, and Children in Need shows, and presenting several Here's One I Made Earlier craft segments. I have got many questions upon Hacker, but we'll get on to them in a minute. Hacker will join the current presenting team, Abby, Joel, Sheeny, and Henry the Dog, in the new look of Blue Peter studio from Friday the 5th of September. To mark his debut as presenter number 44, Hacker will take viewers on a special tour of his hometown, Wigan, highlighting its most iconic spots. In the new series, Blue Peter brings families together with its mix of epic adventures, creative crafts, and homegrown storytelling that reflects the show's deep roots in British culture. Abby, Joel, and Sheeny continue to take on inspiring challenges that the show is known for, from sea kayaking to helping puffins conservation to taking on the Royal Marine training. Blue Peter's new look and fresh format will unveil Friday the 5th of September, marking an exciting new chapter for the beloved show. Blue Peter is made by BBC Studio Kids and Family Production for BBC Children and Education. Woo, 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 woo. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Blue Peter presenters, human-based presenters, sometimes the animals get involved due to the fact that they might do animal training-based segment, are always involved, right? They always do adventures, activities, challenges, right? Let's say John Noakes climbing up I'm trying to think. Climbing up the without a harness is a challenge. I can't remember the thing. It'll come back to me. And if you really think about it, a lot of challenges, a lot of things happen. So Abby, on her first day, abseiled to get a Blue Peter badge, right? Now, because Hacker's a puppet, that was me trying to do a really bad EastEnders impression. So because Hacker's a puppet, he doesn't have the same abilities as everyone else. So he can't take on these epic challenges. So I feel that I'm a little bit concerned how that aspect of the job is going to work. But I'm assuming that the new setup and the new layout for Blue Peter will incorporate giving Hacker some other things to be doing whilst he can't do abseiling down the River Wye or going on a safari and doing all these things. Hopefully, the new format from Friday the 5th of September will incorporate the puppet element, because I know that since Abby Cook joined, Blue Peter has adapted itself so that Abby can join in with the challenges and have her own challenges and have her own adventures. So I know that it's possible that for the show to adapt based on its presenters, but because this is the first puppet presenter where you've got you've got the action taking place, but you've got a human underneath doing the puppeteering. You've got a puppeteer doing the puppeteering for the puppet. Because you've got that element, you've sort of got less room to sort of play with. So I hope that the layout of the set, I hope that the format of the show adapts itself to make sure that you utilise Hacker really well. Because the human presenters, that's easy to solve because that's one person, right? But for a puppet, you've got the puppeteer to think about and how are you going to get the correct angles you want, how are you going to film it properly. So I have got the concerns now, but I'm assuming when they develop this new format, Hacker was already in board from the moment someone said, shall we revamp Blue Peter and move away from Dock 10 and utilise this new space and do all this? Shall we get a puppet involved? If they did that from the get-go, then that'll be already preset and that'll already be done. But a tour of Wigan, simple, easy. But I am sort of concerned. But that's just an early concern because we don't have the full details of how the new set's going to work and how it's all going to look, how it's all going to interact, because we don't know the whole details. You're obviously people are going to be concerned, going, that's not going to work, oh, it's not going to work, oh, it's not going to work, because we don't know enough information yet. We only know the Hacker's involved, right? It's all going to be cleared up from Friday the 5th of September. We'll understand how it's going to work. I want to know if the theme tune will now go, hi, I'm Abby, I'm Joel, I'm Sheeny, I'm Hacker, and that's Henry the dog. Hopefully something like that will occur. Because I do think that, I don't think they need to revamp the music, but the title sequence might change to adapt to this new layout, and adapt to Hacker, obviously. But I do think that my concerns are here right now on Saturday, 2nd of August at 10:52, 2025. So my concerns are here, but if I look back at this on Saturday, the 6th of September, shall we say, my concerns will probably not be there anymore because we'll then have a clearer picture of how Hacker's going to work on Blue Peter. So I'm excited to find out more about how they're going to utilise Hacker. And more, I'm excited for Hacker joining Blue Peter. Just right now, I've got some concerns, but I think they'll all be cleared up once we know more information. Now, one of the things that Blue Peter did to celebrate this news, on their social media platforms that require vertical video, like that's vertical, which I'm not a fan of, release a piece of footage. Now, what I've done to that footage is, as the background that I have for the thumbnails and the channel logo and the channel banner, and put it in and cropped it slightly because there's areas that are like really empty space. And what this is it's an announcement of who is the 44th Blue Peter presenter. Now we know it's Hacker Dog, but utilising other Blue Peter presenters of past. So it utilises the current Blue Peter presenting team and the old presenting team in a funny way. So without further ado, please enjoy 44th Blue Peter presenter announcement.
Have you heard there's a new presenter?
Connie, have you heard there's a new Blue Peter presenter?
No.
I know. Have you heard there's a new presenter?
Have you heard there's a new presenter?
You're not coming back, are you?
What? Mike?
Have you heard there's a new presenter?
Well, hey, it's me, cockers, Hacker the Dog, the 44th Blue Peter presenter. La 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 la, hey!
And so, there we have it. Now, Anthony Turner made a little joke there. I'm assuming that it's a joke, Anthony Turner. If it's not, then that's even more exciting. Was that a joke? Wait, it's a factual programme, so we've got no drama and suspense going on there. I'm assuming she made that as a joke, Anthony Turner. She's probably busy doing other things. I'm not actually too sure. Anyway, so I personally think that, right? So you've got your traditional way of doing it from the programme itself. Brilliant. I think that was really clever because it's... So, kids my age and slightly below will know and Hacker for those 16 years. And a bit above will know of Hacker for 16 years. And the kids that the parents of the children that the program is aimed at now will recognise these other presenters. And so what really worked really well is utilising this stream of here's other presenters. Here's a little like funny thing of I was saying, do you know who the new Blue Peter presenter is? You've got Radze, you've got all these other presenters. I can't remember some names at the moment. It really annoys me. I do apologise. So you've got this really cool, and I just think it's a really interesting and fascinating way to utilise the platform you're trying to sell this idea on and utilise the platforms to showcase the new presenters. Now, as I've already said, we've got my concerns, but I think that is a perfect way of showcasing a Hacker, and I think that it's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting, it's just going to be a new way of looking at it. You're not going to be able to criticise it in the same way. So, the videos that we've utilised today from the BBC are excellent, right? One is a clip from the show, and one is its own thing, and they're brilliant either way. I'm excited to find out more about how Hacker interacts with Blue Peter in the future, and I'm looking forward to the future of Blue Peter, full stop. And I hope one day BBC 4 do another day of retro children's programming by airing old Blue Peters again. But without further ado, that is one I filmed earlier. Goodbye.